Well, good morning. It is Thursday, April 1st. We turn the page on our calendars and begin with a fresh start. I'm Danielle Wiggins with your 3 News Now morning update. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on the WKYC Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. Remember to share your thoughts on the stories covered in this edition of 3 News Now. And like I said, it's a new month, a new quarter of the year. It's also April Fool's Day. But for baseball fans, it's simply opening day. The upcoming season will have COVID protocols like last year, but more and more fans will be in attendance as states loosen restrictions. All 30 teams are in action today. It's spread out across all time zones. Our Cleveland Indians are in Detroit getting ready to play the Tigers at 1:10. And it's April Fool's Day, like I said, but one thing that's not a joke this morning, yes, snow. Take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Will we get lucky and enjoy warmer temperatures this Easter weekend? Well, Holly Strano, she has the answers.
Thanks, Danielle. And what a day it's been so far. Start to April. And, we had that snow this morning. And as we look ahead to the rest of the day, snow showers, snow flurries will become much more isolated, but we'll still have that potential even into early evening. The other thing is that it's super windy. So although our temperatures are kind of hovering around 30 degrees even through dinner time, it's feeling like it's in the teens. So this is a winter coat kind of day, and it most certainly feels like winter on this April the 1st. As we get into tonight and your Friday, we will start to clear, and it's still going to be a bit of a struggle as far as temperatures tomorrow, but an improvement. We'll see partly sunny skies and highs in the low 40s, which is better than what we're dealing with today. So let's go ahead and get a look at the rest of the weekend because, of course, it's Easter weekend and we've got a lot to look forward to. And we've been talking about how quickly we bounce back, and that really is the case. On Saturday, we're in the upper 50s, partly cloudy skies. Easter Sunday in the 60s, so it's going to be great weather for anything outdoors this weekend. If it's an Easter egg hunt or maybe you plan a little picnic outside so you can social distance. Our home opener is Monday and the weather looks amazing. And then we're upper 60s to near 70 through the middle of next week. Danielle, back to you.
Thank you, Holly. I guess we just have to make it through the next 2 days. And as a new season of Cleveland Indians baseball is welcomed at Progressive Field on Monday, there are some things that will not be welcome. The team has banned headdresses and Native American face paint, saying fans with either will not be permitted inside the ballpark. This comes as a result of conversations with Native American groups as they work together to abandon the controversial branding. The spokesperson for the team said the target of this newest policy is to rid the ballpark of offensive stereotypes that infringe on traditions and cultures. A representative from the Native American community says she's glad to see these changes coming to life.
Community self-worth, that has increased suicide ideation. There's a lot of things that go into this type of imagery that negatively impacts our youth. If we can make, going to a baseball game experience more welcoming and comfortable for Native people, that is a step in the right direction.
And despite these changes, regular face painting, like having the block C or players' numbers on your cheeks, well, that is still permitted. Also still permitted is clothing with the old Chief Wahoo logo on it.
When something's going wrong, you must be busy.
In Akron, the city will officially recognize April 1st as Devo Day. Akron is the town where the band was formed. Those red hats they wore, called energy domes, will pop up randomly as sculptures around the city. It's Akron's way of trying to boost fan votes for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination. This year marks the second time the band was nominated. And developing this morning, the New York Times is reporting that some Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses will be delayed because of a factory mix-up. Workers at a Baltimore plant accidentally ruined about 15 million doses. But the company says this does not affect doses that are currently being delivered and used nationwide. It's not clear yet how the failed batch may impact Ohio's supply. Registration is now open for the mass vaccination site at the Summit County Fairgrounds, which launches this Saturday. It will be open 3 to 4 days a week for 2 months. We have a QR code up on your screen right now that takes you to our website for help registering for appointments if you need them. And Lake County wrapped up its first vaccine megapod, or point of dispensing. 5,000 people were able to get vaccinated yesterday at Mentor High School. The county's next pod clinic is planned for next Thursday at Lakeland Community College. Registration is still open. And a new report says the COVID-19 pandemic led to 375,000 deaths in the U.S. last year alone. And that makes coronavirus the third leading cause of American deaths in 2020 after only heart disease and cancer. The CDC is also saying that last year, more than 3 million Americans died overall, the nation's highest annual death toll ever. People of color were hit the hardest, with the COVID-19 death rate highest among Hispanic people. And this morning, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson has extended the COVID-19 civil emergency in the city. It was set to expire last night at midnight, but will now run through April 30th. The health orders that remain in effect include mask mandates and limits on patrons in bars, restaurants, and entertainment and sporting venues. Since the pandemic began, Cleveland has recorded more than 28,500 COVID cases and more than 400 deaths. Also developing this morning, security video released for the first time yesterday in court showed George Floyd in the moments just before his death. On day 3 of Derek Chauvin's murder trial, this was the exchange that ultimately led the store to call Minneapolis police. The cashier told the jury he took what appeared to be a counterfeit $20 bill from Floyd when he paid for a pack of cigarettes. Christopher Martin says he asked Floyd twice to come back into the store to discuss the situation before things escalated outside.
I saw people yelling and screaming. I saw Derek with his knee on George's neck on the ground.
There was an extended pause in the trial when a juror fell ill, telling the judge she hadn't been able to sleep. She declined medical assistance and said she would be fine to continue. Now, coming back closer to home, happening today, a special school board meeting will be held at Rocky River High School. They will address allegations that several high school teachers were speaking inappropriately about a student. Earlier this week, Rocky River Police announced they are reopening the investigation, saying they received new evidence. Okay, time now for the best news you'll hear all day. At least I hope so. It has no doubt been a difficult year for restaurants, and one local spot is feeling grateful after a couple gave them a $1,000 tip. This happened at the Battleground restaurant in Kent last weekend. The co-owner says it came after what she calls a busy night where they were short-staffed and things got chaotic. But it ended with hope after the couple handed them that generous tip and offered words of encouragement.
I felt enormous gratitude, but enormous room to learn from mistakes and keep going.
She also says it left her feeling grateful to be surrounded by support. Okay, and check this out. The Mars rover snapped an out-of-this-world selfie. Yeah, who knew that it could snap a selfie of itself? So take a look. NASA's Curiosity rover posed for this pic on the red planet earlier this month. It shows a rock outcrop that stands 20 feet tall. The panorama picture is made up of 60 images from the camera on the rover's robotic arm. Boy, the rover even getting into selfies. Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Our digital team will continue to bring you the stories making headlines around Northeast Ohio and beyond. Make sure you continue to check our social media pages and WKYC.com throughout the day. Our weather team is also tracking the snow we're seeing today. Check out their forecast in the weather section of WKYC.com. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and the GO team will be back tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 on WKYC. If you're up, tune in. Have a great day, everybody.